In human sphere, concerned individuals use varied ways to pass messages to the masses in the world, some orally, others in written and script, and others use semiotics. Bishop Niringiye resorted to writing to better tell the facts as they happened in the past and relate them to the present, as he states.
Book seeks to follow through this whole notion of faith, which is to do with convictions about the world, convictions about God, convictions about the world as it ought to be, not just as it is.
He says that Museveni is cognizant of the power that the church wields in the political space and thus tries to put barriers in the way for his opponents to utilize them.
Museveni knows how powerful the church is when they work with you. Because he used clergy, he used religious centers, oh my goodness, because he knew he could hide rebels in these places. So he knows, now that he's the other side, he has to make it impossible for anybody to do what he did, you know? So is it because he really believes in the separation of the church and the state? Absolutely no. It is, this time it doesn't work for him. I mean, so does he really mean it? Of course he doesn't.
Niringiye affirms that Museveni is comfortable with the religious leaders he shares a cup of tea with and not those who are critical to him. He brings a different version that church should stay outside politics. He cites among a few Father Waligo and the ethics minister Simon Lokodo, who are loyal to him.
Oh my goodness, Father Waligo is very open in his own writings that he was an advocate of the NRM system. And he had he was very deep. President Museveni never complained that Waligo should separate the church from he's appointed, or Father Lokodo for that matter, or any of the other bishops who clap for him. But when you become critical, now you must separate the church from the, you know. So I think it's because if those who wield the state power do not want to listen to alternative views or criticism, they then get in this very defensive mode.
As it was during the colonial era, where divide and rule was the order of the day, many politicians labored to entrench the policy among religious affiliations, even at a time when Catholics and Anglicans were advocating for improved education at colleges.
Uganda was fighting the same. There was no way in which the Church of Uganda and the Catholic Church were talking together about, both of them talking about schools and hospitals. Instead, they were talking to those who wield political power.
In the wake of bad governance, the retired bishop says that religious leaders like the late Archbishop Janan Luum must pray for such radical leaders to be toppled.
I can argue the same consequently for the Namirembe diocese vis-a-vis Obote. I know for sure. They did not only not pray that he stays in power, they worked actively to be able to remove him from power. And I think that there are many churches today who are not praying that NRM and Museveni stay in power, but actually pray that God removes them, and I am one of them.
Many writers bring to light events of the past and present in writing to create awareness among the masses. But how many Ugandans try at least to look at one article a day? This justifies the black factor. If you want to hide something from a black person, put it into writing. This report is compiled by Chitone Julius for WBS in Kampala.